Was desperately trying to find my baby.
Don't know what else to say other than not to send my father to jail.
This young man didn't know he had been abducted as a child and found out in the strangest of ways.
Julian Hernandez discovered he'd been missing for 13 years, kidnapped from Alabama by his father.
Julian Hernandez was an honor student heading into college when he discovered his father, Bobby, had a terrible secret.
He was applying to college. There was some discrepancy in his Social Security number. Because both he and his dad were living under false names.
When he confronted his father about it, he revealed he had taken him away from his mother when he was just 5 years old after having a fight with her.
They didn't get along, and things like this happened.
The couple was constantly fighting, and she wanted to divorce him.
Mr. Hernandez threatened the mother that if she ever split up with him, he would take the child and she would never see him again.
He went to great lengths to convince her to stay with him.
He created paperwork and gave it to this woman to persuade her he was dying of prostate cancer.
Eventually, she filed for divorce, which infuriated him. One day, Bobby was supposed to drop Julian in preschool. Instead, he withdrew the money from multiple bank accounts and flew with the child from Alabama.
When I lost my sweet little boy, it was the worst day of my life.
They began searching for the boy and his father.
The FBI and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children looked into hundreds of leads from across the U.S. and Canada.
Father and son drove all the way up to Cleveland and created new identities.
The father and son had been going by different names.
Bobby remarried and formed a new family to whom he never revealed what he had done.
This is the house where young Julian Hernandez was living with his dad, a stepmom, and a little stepsister.
The FBI continued searching for him, but they couldn't find any clues about his whereabouts.
There was a pattern of very deceptive and clever behavior to avoid the authority.
As the years passed, Julian's mother began losing hope.
She had been through so many false claims. She'd been through chasing leads for 13 years.
When Julian learned the truth, he was encouraged by his school counselor to call the police.
Our violent crime task force worked this matter over the weekend and, in fact, confirmed that it is Julian Hernandez.
The police immediately contacted his mother.
It was just great for me to be able to tell the mother that all this time he has been alive and he is doing well.
Bobby faced trial for his crimes.
He's facing possible identity theft and fraud charges.
To everyone's surprise, Julian came forward to defend his father.
Everyone wants to talk about all the bad things he's done, and I think that he's done a lot of good.
He went on to praise his behavior and how he had raised him up.
When other kids were on drugs and smoking and drinking, because of him, I never fell into any of that.
Bobby explained he always took care of his child.
Julian was always the most important person in my life.
While Julian's mother did not attend the trial, she did write a letter to express the pain she had suffered for the last 13 years.
During my darkest moments, I considered suicide. I wanted to die.
Bobby was anxious throughout the trial.
No, Bobby, don't start. Just do what they tell you.
But he eventually pleaded guilty to all his charges.
I offer my apologies to my son and to his mother and her family.
The prosecution asked for a sentence of up to 54 years in prison. However, after Julian's mother saw how much her son cared about Julian, she asked for a reduced sentence.
She wants to do what's in the best interest of her son.
Bobby was sentenced to 4 years in prison. The mother asked Julian to move in with her back in Alabama, but he asked to stay in Cleveland to finish his studies. She let him stay.
She loves her son very much, and she wants to support him and to help him to rebuild his life.
Bobby left prison after an early release, and Julian finished his studies.
This case really just serves as a reminder to parents and loved ones who are looking for missing children to never give up hope.
Since the trial, mother and son have been rebuilding their relationship.